What's up folks, Sokkehoved here, your friendly YouTuber. So, we're going to open some boosters today in Magic Duels. So, just like I've said way long back, is that I would like to collect each and every set, and I've started out with Magic or Regions, so we will keep on collecting that set. Oh, 57% of set collected. So if we took 32 boosters, then I would almost have the whole set collected, but with 8 more, I'm just getting a tiny bit closer. So confirm purchase. Yes, indeed. And purchase successful. Okay to that one. We're going to open the boosters one at a time. We're going to look at the card. Now it's been a long time, so I can't remember all of the cards. But I remember just going through uncommon and rare, just so it wouldn't take too long. Some Bounding Grasses. Flash. When Bounding Grasses enters the battlefield, you may tap or untap target creature. It's a 3/3 for 3 mana, which is really nice actually. And the Flash ability is really nice because it's just an instant. So a blue enchantment, which makes whenever you draw a card, you select an opponent who takes the top card from their library and put it into their graveyard. And then a bot of Carol Keep, prowess 1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And when he enters the battlefield, you can exile the top card of your library. Until the end of this turn, you may play that card. So it's basically just play this card. You can get the top card as well to play if you want to play it. I would say it's really nice if it's like a land, or if you're just looking for something else and you actually get it. Now let's go on to next booster. So booster number 2. Let's see what we get. Ooh, the Infectious Bloodlust is nice. So we have Enthralling Victor. When he enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature and opponent controls with power 2 or less. Until end of turn, untap that creature and gain haste until end of turn. So it's basically just take one of your opponent's creatures, swing with it. Cruel Revival is destroy target destroy target non-zombie creature. It can be regenerated, return up to 1 target zombie creature from your graveyard to your hand. Sorry, that's what it should be. That is actually really nice if you're playing a zombie deck, and it's also just basically removal. So Soulblade Djinn, 5 is flying for 3. Wow. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So that basically buffs all your creatures. I would say it's really nice, but it's fairly expensive for 2 blue and 3 colorless. And he only have 3 life, so he kind of easily gets killed. I would say it's okay. Now we have him, so that's okay. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, sweet! That one we didn't have. Iroa's Champion. Double Striker. 2/2 for 3. That is actually okay, I would say. It's a red-white one, so it's basically for a Rust deck or something like that. Or basically a beatdown deck. So, Giant Thief. Prowess. That's the +1/+1 ability. And whenever this creature here deals combat damage to a player, you can draw a card. But it requires it to actually deal combat damage. It doesn't have any of the abilities like it's unblockable, it's flying, something like that. It has the prowess instead. I would say it's kind of okay. Some people might just pound their head and just saying, what are you talking about? That's just an awesome card. Or some people might just say, you don't know anything. But well, that's me. So now we also got the Archangels of Teeth. Or Tithes? I'm not quite sure. But it's a 3/5 for 3 white, 1 colors. It's a flying, and as long as this angel is in play, as long as she is untapped, creatures can't attack you or planeswalker you control unless the controller of that creature pays 1 colorless. So for your opponent to be able to swing in with their creatures, they need to pay mana for it, which is really, really nice. And then the opposite way around, if she attacks and swing with your whole team, then your opponent have to pay mana for him or her, to be able to actually block those creatures that you're attacking with. That is really, really nice. I actually wanted that creature for quite a long time now. Let's see what we get here. Bloodcursed Knight, that is nice. So it's a 3/5 creature which gain +1/+1 and lifelink as long as you control a enchantment. And the Consul's Lieutenant, 2 whites, 2/1, first strike. And whenever it has renown, that means that it have to deal damage to opponent. Then it gets renown. That means it gets +1/+1 counters as the renown is. So this one would become a 3/2 first striker. But whenever that one is attacking, then all other creatures that is attacking together with it gets +1/+1. And then Tagic Arrogance. For each player, you choose from among the permanents that player control an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker. Then each player sacrifice all other non-land permanents he or she controls. That is actually also kind of a nice control thing, even though they get to keep something, but you get to choose exactly what they keep, which is actually nice. Let's see what we get here. We get a Rune Servitor. It's a 2/2 for 2, and when it dies, both players get to draw a card. Patron of the Valiant. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter. So if you're playing a deck with plenty of +1/+1 counters, I would say you can always put something better in, but if you don't have anything better, you can always take that as a large drop that just hits the board and actually boosts all your +1/+1 counters creatures. That was a bit messy, but yeah, sorry about that. And then Willbreaker. It's a blue 1 creature, 2/3 whenever creature and opponent control. Wow, this one I actually also really wanted. So it's an expensive one, but when it hits the board, you just have creatures that target your opponent creatures, and then you gain control of them. It's so nice. It's just, I have this tap creature, so I tap to tap that creature, and I actually gain control of it. Yes! We got Jace. So, Thopter Engineer. Whenever this one enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 colorless Chopper artifact with flying onto the battlefield. It's a 3/1 in itself. And artifact creatures you control have haste. Nice. Necromantic Summons. Put target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Spellmaster, if there are 2 more instant or sorceries in your graveyard, that creatures enter the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters. That is really nice. It's a sorcery. I can't remember. There is another one that can take a creature from a graveyard, put it into play, but this one just gives it +2 +1/+1 counters as long as you have 2 or more instant or sorceries sorceries in your graveyard. So it's basically just an upgrade of it. And then we got Jace. Nice. So it's a 0/2 for 2, which he gets killed fast. Draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 5 more cards in your graveyard, exile this one here and return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. So this is a draw engine, because you tap to draw a card, even though you have to discard one, but you can get through your library. But when you hit those 5 or more cards in your graveyard, you flip him, and he gets Jace Telepath Unbound, which is a Planeswalker, your ally. He got 5 loyalty counters as a start. For +1, up to 1 target creature gets -2, -0 until end of turn, or until your next turn. So basically it just means that it hit not as hard. For -3, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, what? You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile. Okay, so basically all your used spells, instant and sorceries, you can cast once more, but with the -3. Or you have to target it, and then it gets exiled after you use it. Then it's not in the graveyard anymore. So like with the Necromantic Summons, so if you had 2 instants or sorceries in your graveyard and you used one of them, then you don't have those 2 anymore. And then -9, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, target opponent puts the top 5 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. That is insane if you get up there, and it just have to read again whenever you cast a spell. So as long as you have spells to cast, if you get that emblem into play, I would say as long as you're not in a really big pinch, then you're almost certain to win. So Zendikar Incarnate for 4. Green, red, 2 colorless, and its power is equal to the number of lands you control. That is actually fairly nice, because with green you can get quite a lot of lands in play. And then there's the Magician Thief again. Evolutionary Leap. It's an enchantment, sacrifice a creature, reveal cards from your top until you So I'll start over with that one. Sacrifice a creature. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest at the bottom of your library. So basically with the green there is some token generating stuff, and of course also with the other cards. But it's basically just sacrifice tokens, or if you're blocking with a creature that's going to die anyway, then you sacrifice that creature. And then you can just search your library for those creatures that you really need. That is actually really nice for a huge creature deck, or one where you only have a few creatures but you need them, so you can actually, and you have tokens. Oh, Foundry of the Console. Oh, I actually think I have one of those. So add a colorless to a mana pool. Pay 5 colorless, sacrifice this one, and put 2 colorless or 2 chapter artifacts into play that have flying. Undercity Troll, renown 1, and you can regenerate it. That's so it only costs 2. It's a 2/2, got renown 1, but you can regenerate it. So basically, just you swing in with it, and then if you can get renown on it, then it's a 3/3, so you can keep on swinging with it and keep on regenerating, probably keeping your opponent's board low, or you can keep on swinging in for a lot of damage. Flame Shadow! Yeah, Flame Shadow in Conjuring. It's an enchantment, red 1. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 red. If you do, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. That token can gain haste. Wow! So basically, if you play a big creature, just pay 1 red extra, and then you get another copy of that creature, and that one got haste, so you can attack with a big creature right away. That is really nice. So that's all the boosters for this time. Return to store. So what are we? We are at 67% collected right now. So we're getting closer and closer to those 100%. When I got to the 100%, I will probably get started with the Shadows over Innistrad or Gatewatchers. One of those 2 new series instead of the Zendikar. And then I will begin to collect them. So I actually have a bigger variety of cards that I can build decks with. But yeah, comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like about this booster pack opening, and comment down below if you would like to see some gameplay videos as well. I know I've done them, but I don't have too many different decks and so on that I can build. So basically only play with an elf, a green black elf deck whenever I'm playing and so on, and then I'm just making scruff decks to complete the daily quests, just to get them done, then play against the computer. But if you want to see gameplays, please comment down below. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say except for take care, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.